Hello everyone. This is typical me being bossy for 2 minutes straight. Just kidding. Okay, so I would love to share my video about how I went with my first gown and how I enjoyed working all the processes I went through, and I hope you enjoy too. But before we start, I want to thank Mr. and Mrs. Chacha for trusting me on this big deal. I'm so excited to be part of this big whole journey. You didn't expect this, but you really trusted me on this, and then I'm super excited you trusted me on this. So please stay tuned, relax wherever you are, and enjoy yourself as I enjoy the weekend. Love you all. Please subscribe and like this video. Thank you. Peace. Okay, so with this I make sure I iron the dots. Yeah, so I'm ironing the dots. That would enable me to actually add the bone to it very effectively and very nicely. So I went for the bone, did a bit of an ironing, and then I did some cutting, did a bit of filing so that it wouldn't actually poke out of the lining. I did some bending of the tips so that it wouldn't basically fall off, because sometimes the bone does that. And then I went back to sew the bone on the borders. I came back to do a bit of ironing for the back. Yes. So after I was done with the ironing for the back, I went back to do some bit of stitching before I added my bone to it to make sure it actually stands out and make it super extra neat. So with this one, I completely hand sewn all the lace I had to sew on the borders. I made sure I draped on the borders, the lining, so that it wouldn't actually follow any disgusting pattern. It would follow a very normalized and a very beautiful pattern, because the pattern in the lace was very nice, and really wanted to maintain that classic look. So I tried to make sure I draped it on it, and I hand sewn it before I took it to the machine. So this is basically me hand sewing everything on it. So after that, I came to the downside of the dress, the gown. I came to the downside. I was done with the downside of the dress, so we left with it down by the back of the dress. So this is me trying to get a perfect lining for the back of the dress, and that's basically how it just went all about. I did a bit of ironing. So you realize that when I pin it on the mannequin, you can see that there was a bit of a line there. I did that so that when I'm adding the down part, you get to understand it. When I'm adding the knit to it, you get to understand it really well. I just did that so that I can find a place where my net will be attached to it, so that it will be a little bit easy for me. So I did the whole process again, came back to iron it so that it would be very nice for me. So just me aligning the top side with the downside so I can get a perfect pattern, so that it just wouldn't mess up. I can get the exact pattern that I want. It would just flash and then completely be the exact thing when I transfer it into the machine. So I tried it on it. So with this, I was trying to work on the soft net so that I can get the gathers I wanted. So this is me trying to gather the soft net that I'll be working with at the extreme down, the tail side. Yes. So I was doing a bit of gathering with the nets, the soft nets, so I can get a perfect even gathers. Yes. So here I'm adding the gathers net to the lining of the down. So I'm adding it to it, and I'm making sure it falls in so perfectly as expected. But remember that if you see how the downside of the lining is, I added horsehair. It is also known as crinoline here in Ghana. But some people also call it horsehair. So in this video, you will see that I'm attaching the horsehair to the lining beneath. Yes, this is how I'm attaching the horsehair in the lining to actually help make it stand out and then become a bit puffy, a bit wavy. Really makes dresses like gowns, flare dresses like now. I think that's the new ish. It really adds a bit of a touch to a dress when it is being done. Yes. So this is me adding a horsehair to the gown. Yeah, it's the lining for the gown. So this is all the process. So I'm sewing it at the right side, so later on it would be turned to the wrong side and then it would be overstitched on to make it look texture perfect. But don't forget that ironing just gives it a different meaning altogether. When you iron your dresses when sewing, it's just one of the few tricks I've learned on YouTube that has really saved me and has really improved my work. So I hope you also stick to that. Yeah. So with this, the bride also wanted the back of the gown to be laced, so I did a hose and then fixed it. So this is how I intended of making it look like, but she actually never liked the cut, so I took it off on the D-Day. And this is the final project, and see how excited the bride is. She's super extra excited. She liked the compliment that came on this word, and this wedding gown was very positive. And this has been my first wedding gown, and I'm so excited. I took and embarked on this journey, and I thank Mr. and Mrs. Chacha for giving me such a great honor to be part of this great journey they're going to embark on. Thank you guys so much. Please stay tuned for more amazing videos.
So one thing I would add is that the head piece was also made by me. I completely made every beaded headpiece that she has on. And I also made sure that the bride had a touch on her veil. Okay, I made sure that she did her own veil, and at least she has something she could own that she did it. Okay.
So basically, after the bride was done working on it, I actually took the veil back and added some bit of touches to it. I did a bit of beading, added a bit of peacock sequence to it to give it a bit of a touch. I actually wanted the bride to work on her veil so that she can feel connected with the dress, that someday she can also say that she did something on her veil. I think that is very special, and I wanted her to enjoy that. So these are some of the compliments I received from my family and friends who have seen me grow into this great fashion designer I'm becoming. I'm super excited. They gave me such positive compliments, and it just changed everything I was feeling inside. I was super nervous at first, but after all these compliments that came in, I just feel like, okay, I did my best.